Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today's card project features some very simple stamping, some very simple Copic coloring. So if you're looking for some inspiration to keep it very simple, I got you. This stamp set was designed by my daughter.
That's me, I'm the daughter.
You have to look there. So stick around for my simple card project coming up next. I'm gonna include that. Here's a look at the card project I'll be creating today, and it really is a clean and simple design, but it gives you a great opportunity to practice that Copic coloring. Small images are so easy to color, so let's get into the project and look at the supplies I'm using. The stamps I'm using today are from the Light Me Up stamp set. This is a big 6x8 set full of light and love images, but today I'm only going to use the light strand and a light bulb. I think it's really fun when you have all of these images to explore the simplest cards you can make. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got a little Simon Intense Black ink. I've got some black cardstock and some Neenah Solar White in the classic Crest. Some Nouveau Crystal Glaze that I'm going to use, and I've got a selection of Copic markers for my simple coloring. So let's begin with some stamping. I'm just going to take the light bulb, pop it onto a block, and stamp right onto this cardstock. Every now and then, I like to practice stamping without using my MISTI tool. I'm building my confidence every time I do this, and so if you're a new stamper, having one image that you're stamping over and over again just gives you practice, right? That one on the left there, I'm not going to be coloring that one. And I just keep stamping until I have a page full. This is also great just for practice in general and for coloring as well. I only need 5. I'm going to start out with grays here and just color in a little bit of T1 for the threading of the light bulbs, and then come in with a little bit of T3. Nothing fancy, right? I don't do a lot of heroic shading. I'm not that talented with coloring yet, but I'm just giving a little bit of gray and putting little X marks through the ones that I'm not going to use. So I have more than I need, and that's exactly how I want to start out. When I'm coloring, I tend to keep it really simple. I don't go very often to look for 3 colors to blend together. 9 out of 10 times, I'm picking 2 colors like this, and that's it. So here I'm starting with each color of the rainbow a little bit lighter and bringing in one little swipe of the darker color. So simple. And these are colors that I've been working with long enough that I know they work. I think Copic coloring just takes a little practice, and I don't think I'm ever going to be a prize-winning Copic artist, but I definitely have more confidence today than when I first started. And again, keeping it simple, choosing really simple images like these to practice is a great way to build that confidence. So don't be afraid of those alcohol markers or whatever markers you have. Bust them out, stamp out a bunch of little images, and just get to practicing. And then use the ones that you think look best. Next, I'll use this coordinating die to cut out all of the light bulbs. And I was kind of proud of myself that I nailed all of them. I didn't have to actually, color a second one of any color. I think my skills are growing. But die cutting them, popping them out, and now I have the first light bulb, and I'll go ahead and cut out the rest off camera. Next, I'm going to stamp the string. Now there is a coordinating die for the string, but in the name of simplicity, I decided I was just going to stamp it right onto the card panel. Now this panel is trimmed to be 5.5 by 4.25, but I am going to cut it down considerably using a panel die. But first, I want to stamp that string down, get a nice impression so that I can trim it down and have it be exactly where I think it needs to be on the finished card. So going to flip around the MISTI, use the same Simon Intense Black ink, and I taped that down just so that it wouldn't move, and press. Even sometimes with the magnet, your cardstock can move in the MISTI, so yeah, a little low-tack tape's not going to hurt. And I wanted to hit it twice just to have a nice solid line. Again, beauty of a stamping tool, it makes it easy. I'm going to take this die from Waffle Flower Crafts, frame out where I want that string to appear on the panel, and I will run that through my die cut machine. Next, I'll position my little light bulbs kind of where I think they should go so that I can get my greeting placed down onto the panel. I'll pick that up, get rid of the light bulbs for now, so that I can go ahead and stamp my greeting onto the panel. And this will also just be stamped in the Simon Intense Black. It's a really simple card. You know, the design, the black, the white, the simple rainbow of color, hitting that twice to get a really nice impression. And now we're ready to start building the card. This is going to be a USA 2 card, so it will be 5.5 wide by 4.25 tall. Give that a nice press down. And I've got some foam tape onto the back of my panel. Just gonna pop that up in the center, and you'll see here it's got a really nice wide margin of space. I think that's really cool looking. And next I'll take some thin foam squares, cut them in half. That way they are small enough to fit onto the back of each bulb. I like the thin foam squares because they have just the right amount of loft. You know, they're not too puffy. Your card's not going to be too bulky. I mean, we've already got, you know, the panel popped up. This just adds a little bit of fun dimension. So all I'm going to do is just sprinkle them across the string, and there you have a sweet little rainbow of lights extending across the card. It's so that's simple, right? You could leave it. I think that's pretty cute, but I thought, you know what, Kath, you're going to bust out that crystal glaze and give it a go. I always make sure it's running smoothly on a piece of scrap paper and then start placing it down. I keep a toothpick in case there are bubbles or in case I need to kind of spread it around. But honestly, this stuff is really easy to use, and I had no issues with bubbles, and it went down like a dream. And when it dries, it's clear and it creates that glass-like dimension effect that I think really takes a simple card to the next level. Oh, love how this turned out. So simple, but there you go. Love you, Watts and Watts. And the fact that my daughter designed this stamp set, friends, I'm so proud of her. She's a go-getter, that one. The apple, you know what they say? Well, I think you know. I love how this turned out. It is so simple, but friends, sometimes simple is good. All links can be found below the video. Thanks so much for watching.